We are here to do your channel messages and what I see for your star sign in each month. Now, if you do like this content, remember to click the bell. And also we do have a brand new edition, which is the Romance Zone. So stay tuned for that. I will be bringing those channel messages with the tarot live by mid-month. So if you do wish this content ahead of the game, you can join a YouTube membership where I pre-release these a week ahead. Take care, and let's have a look at what I see for your zodiac sign this month. Welcome back, Aries. We're here to do your star sign and what I physically see coming through for you guys. Now, as I mentioned, March is a very big month. There's a lot of things transforming and changing, and I really do see March happening in two pockets. It is the first part pretty much leading up until about, let's say the 19th, maybe even the 16th. And then we have the second part, which is pretty intense as well. Now, some of these things are going to, in the initial stage, feel slightly uncomfortable. But they're also going to relieve some tension points, especially because we are having Pluto shift signs for its mini transit in the house of Aquarius, which is going to bring those cycles really full circle. Now, both energies are going to be the critical degree, so I do really feel it is going to be quite transformative. Some of us also can find some frustrations really pinging off in that Capricorn area, which I'm going to break down inside your zodiac to really prepare you for March 2023 and beyond. I do feel in the first part of the month, we're going to be really wanting to kick off and get things done. You particularly could be looking at some situations in your life, and it can be quite psychological. So emotionally speaking, some vices can be coming up. You might be looking at your ideals of new beginnings. Really great time for those of you that are Aries in nature, that feel spiritually that you need meditation, you need some, a break, you're trying to intellectualize. Maybe people are causing issues on, your vibration, and the healthy boundaries may actually be necessary. I also feel a lot of you can be really mustering up some dreams and pouring energy into those areas of your personal life. Now, our first moon of the month is happening on the 7th of March, and it is a full moon in Virgo at 16 degrees. For you, it is a really good time in the first few weeks to really break those habits down. You can be super critical on yourself. Surrounding family and home, there can be some wellness subjects coming up. And there also could be this frenzy where you feel all of a sudden something to do with the home is coming up, be it you're needing to move, be it you are making some decisions based on that, purchasing a property. But it also can be your direct environment and having a revelation that there is some sense of closing. Now, it's a great time to get paperwork done. A great time for you in a mental capacity to look at what's working and what's not. Is it creating more structures and systems in your life? Is it taking some time creating a Zen space inside your home that you can have more organization? But there can be some devil in the detail that you're really looking at that point in time. I would particularly say, try not to burn the candle at both ends. If there are some habits that are coming up that you have been using to actually cope with dynamics happening, it could be a key time that you're suddenly being quite critical and you're thinking, look, I've really got to do something about this situation and address it. And it could feel very urgent to a degree. It's like, okay, we need to step in, we need to address this. I definitely feel for those of you that have children, you're more than likely going to be a little bit more stern. Not necessarily is it healthy to lose that cool, but there can be this critical feeling. That can be with siblings, it can be with co-workers. But your mindset, providing you can keep yourself clear, I feel you're going to be able to really get down and buckle down and get those things done. I also feel around that time, we're also having Saturn move into Pisces. This also can be where you're becoming strict. And, I'd pretty much say don't feel too critical on yourself. There could be a position that you're moving into suddenly that has more responsibilities. You can be looking at elements in your life where you feel they are totally, restricting. And I definitely say, really moving into March, it's a time when we are going to be challenging some of our belief systems and making some sacrifices, but they're going to be for good reasons. On the 12th of March, we have Jupiter in Aries making a conjunction to Chiron in Aries, which I have mentioned on an update that we did on the channel. I'll try and remember to link it. This can be a time when you as an individual, one, you can be critical on yourself with your image. There could be something that comes to a head that comes your way in a very positive sense, especially if you're willing to challenge your beliefs and challenge your demons. So I think it can be incredibly positive for you. On the other element of things, it can be bringing these tension points to a head where you have revelations of something that you need to directly deal with. I would definitely say be very realistic about what you can and can't handle. Having that support system, there's one beautiful element that we have here at YouTube, and it's a community hub, which does add that added support during difficult transits. And we do discuss a lot of things quite openly. And so there is this feeling that you can have that there. We also do have the website for added support should you need a private booking and coaching session. So yes, these things can be coming. And generally, although I say the 12th, the one thing I would say is it could pop off prior to and after. Transits are funky things I've really seen over the last few months. Empaths tend to pick up on energy ahead of time. I definitely was seeing the transits of March coming through well and truly earlier than the actual month. And that's where the predictive element of astrology, it can be quite broad. I'll give it that. But I definitely was seeing themes coming up, especially in the wrap up at the moment relating to the Capricorn axis. The karmic degrees can be difficult. This is where we get to the second pocket of the month, and we're going to dive down, and I'm going to really interpret your chart separately after I give you this PDF, and then we'll be looking at every area of your life and how it can play out. We do have a pocket by mid-month where you can feel your vitality is a little bit better. I also feel you may want to change your image. This can be new subjects coming up to do with you. You can be expressing yourself in a more determined way by mid-month. And I always call a moon happening in your zone the Empress new clothes. So don't be surprised if you do want to suddenly radically cut your hair off or change your makeup or change your wardrobe, regardless of what sex you are. There also could be new chapters that are coming in. Definitely with the new moon that is happening on the 21st, it is at 0 degrees. Now, keep an eye on, I would say 4 days before and definitely a week to 2 weeks after, because next month we are having an eclipse in your zodiac sign, the first of the year. And it is happening in the house of Aries, your first house placement, which is very personal. It's how you show up in the world. It could be a role you're taking. It may be a change in career, a change in status, or particularly a change in the way you are approaching your life and how you see yourself. This also could be to do with image, health, and diet, where you are making very firm choices about what you will and won't accept and what new direction you wish to take your soul and your body in at a vibrational and physical level. So don't be surprised if suddenly you do wish to, make some changes. I also feel your communication style can be very assertive. By the 19th, we do have Mercury entering into your zodiac sign, and you can find that a lot of people are contacting you. You also may feel you're extremely busy. I would particularly say until we reach mid-month, I would be very cautious in rushing and being accident prone. This is because we have had Mars and Gemini sitting in that position for quite a while since last year, August last year. The rushing energy, the Mars-like energy, you may feel everything is coming at you. And look, the one upside can be your vitality is quite high. The other side is we can be prone to burn out and to be quite blunt, triggered and emotional. It is going to pass, but it's key to be aware of where these things can pop off, but also to be very aware of if you're exercising to look after your wellness. You can cut yourself. You can be more accident prone. Your temper may flare up, but you also could be coming through as quite vivacious, assertive, and attractive. And people are going to be quite attracted to you this month. By the 16th, we have Venus moving into Taurus. I really do see, for some of you, it can be pay rises, definitely a lot of confidence. The other way it also can play out is you may want the finer things in life, and this can be going to extremes. Um, I do particularly feel there's a possibility of you reviewing assets. I do feel you can be increasing your net worth. This can come in the form of pay rises, but it also can increase hunger. Um, I love the Taurian energy, but I also do find that through it, there's always a bit of a warning to be ready and to have those food preps done so that you're very strict with yourself and you can manage that. Really diaring, is that even a word? Journaling and checking in with yourself daily. And if there's triggers and emotions, just listening to yourself, maybe having a hot chocolate, resting. But the overindulgence is a huge potential. Make sure you read all the fine print at this point, because I do feel some of us can be emotionally driven in circumstances, and there could be some disclaimers inside of those circumstances that potentially there is going to be a cause and effect, so to speak. So it could be, wow, you're getting extra money, but there could be extra work involved. And I do particularly feel by mid-month we're going to have this revelation that some of those sacrifices may be in the interim worth it. Other things that are popping off could be to do with your accommodation, how you balance your circumstances at home. If you're working from home in a business, there can be those changes happening. As we reach the 23rd, Pluto is leaving Capricorn temporarily. It's already at 29 degrees. So we will feel through the whole of the month moving to the 23rd. Real tension points happening in that Capricorn area. For you, this does link to your personal purpose. There can be a lot of frustrations, and the shadow sign of Capricorn is Cancer. So, it could play two ways. One, it could be your direct environment is hindering some of these things. B, it could be family responsibilities and commitments. It could be the way you have been raised and how it has caused drama inside of your career. But I definitely see transformation and stress levels if you have found over the last few years your purpose and trying to get your life to where you think it should be emotionally. It might have been quite challenging over the last 20 years. The good thing is, and the bad thing, initially you could find some trigger points coming up there and you're trying to be very, very patient. It may have been that you were upskilling, it may have been rules associated to such. It could have mean that the changes that have constantly been happening over the last 20 years for you have really taken a toll. And now you're wanting to get quite serious and you've tweaked things, you've evolved things, and maybe you've worked at different locations and had frustrations. It doesn't have to be an employment factor. It could be you within your own purpose and the pressure points of maybe being very responsible in certain areas, having karmic relationships and contracts, dealing with, could you have children? Could you not? And how you really view yourself in this lifetime. I do think a lot of those things are going to be coming up. But some of that is going to be alleviated, and you can find more forward momentum and success. The other subjects of transformation and change will be moving into the house of Aquarius at 0 degrees. We could this be a little bit karmic? Look, both of the critical degrees, to be perfectly honest. In one breath, we could be going, a relief in an area can be coming, but suddenly there can be, hey, there's more responsibility. One way this can play out is you could have a dynamic happening with friends. You will be networking, you will be meeting new people, and it's being open to those situations, but it's also within your friendship groups that they can be going through changes and it's not personal. But Pluto can make it personal and it can bring these things quite suddenly. The other thing is, if you wanted to get tucked into a project and you took on a deeper role in the responsibility, for some of you, this could be management. You may be looking at that circumstance with a new insight and really moving through it, tweaking through it. Could be almost where you're looking at it going, I really don't know how I'm going to do this. This could be launching of a project. It also could be your social crowds where you're joining gyms, and the way you spend money, new budgets coming in review in this area. I would particularly say be cautious around friends. There could be something coming to a head with it, but you also could be branching out and meeting very important individuals, especially if you're working in business. This could be a very positive thing, but the social element of your life is going to be popping off, as well as very personal changes that you can find happening in your career zone, in your home zone. Now, into love. Where do I see changes coming up for love for you? I do particularly feel the world is your oyster this year, and you may not initially feel such as true. I would also say the pressure points in your style of communication and having too many balls in the air have really added that stress point. Some of you may have had headaches, and that can continue a little bit until we reach mid-month, where Mars transits over to the house of Cancer. This also will bring up subjects and conflicts surrounding home, children, home-based projects. It may be needing to renovate. It could be misunderstandings with a partner or your children. This also can be caring for your home and making sure that it is structurally sound, security conscious, both with you, children, or mother energy. What is the other way this can play out? So it can be people fighting over homes, people fighting over ideals, trying to do too many things, working from home and having a lot of things pop off. You're going to have a lot of energy for home. This can also be very positive, where you can get a lot done at home and you can get things done in a very short space of time. This also can benefit you if you wanted to move, but try to be neutral. You can be assertive, but be careful of conflict in these areas. Anywhere Mars is activated, we do need to be quite cautious to be the initiator of a drama. If the drama directly is coming to you, or a dispute surrounding it, usually because you're on the receiving end, you can address it definitely in a healthy fashion, but in an assertive way, and it will bode better in your favor. But we can be quite moody, so try to be patient in that area. Love for you can be pretty unique, and I would say it is because the shadow sign of Aries is Libra. So trying to have balance, and that is with all things. Also honoring and knowing what you personally need inside of a connection. I do feel, particularly Aries, you are going to be quite dynamic this year. This can be very transformative and changeable, but also understand that you can attract the things in your life you want. And there are huge benefits to it, but there also could be the need where you are articulating exactly what you need in this circumstance. I hope you enjoyed this report. Take care. If you do want a booking, you can go to the link below. Career factor for you guys is looking positive. Move into it quite neutrally. Be aware there is a possibility for changes. And I do see a change really where it does come to your wealth creation. It is going to be transformative. I definitely see you guys setting a lot of goals. And I do see these things in the long run coming through, providing you're willing to challenge that wound and to make that change. Love and light, guys. I'll see you on the other side.